Hello friends, myself Muhammad Fahim Hassan, and in today's video we are going to talk about how we can render a list of elements in JSX, and then we will learn how we can render a list of components in JSX, and the third one we will learn a concept that you will often use when you will build applications using React.js, and that is how we can conditionally render UIs. Okay, so video is going to be more important, and before starting the video I would like to request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Without any delay, let's move towards practical. Okay, first of all, you can see that I have created a Next.js project and the page.tsx is open in my Visual Studio Code, and this is just a simple output of my application. Okay, now first of all, you can see that this is our component, and make sure your component should return only one single div. Okay, so for instance, you cannot do something like this, another page. Okay, you can see that it will generate an error. Yes, you can do this like this. You can create an empty div, and inside this you can create another page. So this is a valid JSX. Or you can also create an empty fragment and wrap all of your HTML inside this. You can see there is no difference in our output. Okay, now for instance, we want to render a list of items. How we will do this? We will simply create a div. Inside this I will create a heading and an unordered list, and here we can create a list of items like lion, cow, snake and lizard. Okay, you can see that we have easily rendered a list of items. Now this is just a very simple list of items. Maybe it is possible that you are building an e-commerce web application and you can render list of products, or for instance you are displaying a list of data like list of students. So the same techniques can be used. Okay, now for instance you have a list of 50 animals, and in real-time application this is very this is not probably this is not going to happen that you hard coded your this list, because you will deal with data sources. Maybe the data, this type of data may be coming from your server or from a REST API. Okay, so you will deal with structures, with data structures. So for instance, we have a data that stores in an array. So I have created this animals array, and let's suppose inside this we have these same four animals. Okay, now question is how you will render this array here. So first of all, let me cut this each list item, and as you know, if you want to write any JavaScript inside your JSX, you can simply write these brackets, and now you will type your array name, which is animals, and then you can use the dot map, and inside this map we will pass a callback function. This will take a parameter like animal. You can call this any name, but basically you can call this a loop each time this map will run. So for instance, we have four elements in our array, and first time this map will call this function, this animal will contain this lion, and second time this will contain cow, and so on. And make sure this map should return whatever JSX you want to create. You should return that, and here you will see I will create a list li. Okay, one thing you need to keep in mind that for we can now easily simply for instance we want to display animal name here. Maybe you can do this like this, and there is an error here, but first of all let me show you. Now you can see that the list of animals is rendered successfully. Let's suppose, let me add another animal like cat. Okay, so you can see that we have the cat element is rendered. You can see that an error is occurring. Let me show you the error first. Each child in a list should have a unique key. Okay, basically this is a requirement by React. So whenever you will render list of items to the whatever parent you will have, in my case we have this li parent, so you will type here key, and here you should pass a unique key. Maybe I can make this unique, like animal, or simply I can pass animal here because our animal name is also unique at this moment. Okay, so maybe you can use the current time or whatever you want, but make sure each list item should have a unique key. Okay, so maybe that key can be matched with the data inside your list item, but this key should be unique. And now you can see that the error is gone, and we have this list of item is rendered successfully. Here you can see that we are directly mapping on our this array. Maybe you can do this like this. It is possible that you can create another variable like const animals list is equal to animals dot map, and inside this again simply we will pass animal. Okay, inside this we need to pass a callback function animal, and I will create a list item, and here I will pass the animal, and we will also pass a key which will be animal as well. And now we can simply remove this complete JSX from here, and simply I can copy this animals list and paste here. And now you can see that our this HTML is stored inside this animals list, and we can easily render this inside our return statement. You can see that again the list is rendering successfully. Okay, next we will talk about how we can render list of components in JSX. Currently you can see that we were just rendering list of HTML elements, and now we will learn how we can render list of components. So now first of all let me cut this from here. Suppose this is our main component, and I'm also going to remove this from here, from this. Okay, and here I will use this empty fragment. Okay, now maybe you can create another component and import this, or maybe we can create that component in the same file. So let's me create my another component named function list, and I will type here like this. Okay, so now first of all this is how we will render this component. Here we will type this bracket and like this. Okay, and now here we need to pass props. Basically what are props? In function as we pass parameters, but in React components we can pass props, and props can be any type of data. Maybe that can, you can pass this list as a prop, you can pass an object, you can pass maybe in string number or whatever you want. Okay, but in this example we are going to pass this array of animals. Okay, so what we are going to do, I'm going to type here animals list is equal to, and then we will pass this, and here I will type a bracket this animals list. Make sure this can be any name. Maybe you can also call this animals, or you can call this animals list. The reason why I write this in different spelling, so you can understand that this props name can be anything, but make sure you will use this name when you will receive this array inside your this list component. So here what we will do, you will receive this props, you will type here props. Make sure you need to type this as it is without any spelling mistake, and inside this we will return, and return like this. And first of all I will create a ul element like this, and now inside this first of all I will type my props, but before this I will type this bracket props dot animals list, and then I will use the same technique, means dot map. Inside this we will have a callback function which will return some JSX. Okay, here I will type again simply animal, and I will return the list of item by typing here animal, and key is equal to animal. Okay, okay, like this. You can see that my this code editor is displaying some error, but these are TypeScript errors, not our logical errors. So first of all let me show you the output. You can see that our list is rendering. Let me give some tailwind CSS classes. So basically you can see our list of items correctly. Okay, you can see that I have given some CSS classes like a border or margin x-axis and y-axis, so you can see this list in a more beautiful way. Okay, now we will talk about how we can conditionally render the UI. Okay, so for instance, you want to put a condition here. For instance, maybe this is possible that the array that is coming from API or server or from whichever source is empty. So this is how you can put condition. First of all, I will comment this. I will create this empty array, and here we can write the condition like this. We can simply type here like this: if animals dot length is not equal to 0, and then I will cut this and paste here. Okay, you can see that. Otherwise, you can see that, or still. Okay, and if I try to console something here, but let me do one thing here. A simple list of item which will say, or let me display here one thing. I will create an empty react fragment like this, and here I will type an h1 h2 tag that this is list component, or simply let me type here list component. Okay, now you can see that even list component heading is not displaying. You can see that. Otherwise, if we will, I will uncomment this and comment this. Now you can see that the list component is rendering. So now you can see that basically we have put a condition. Okay, that if animals dot length is not equal to 0, and then basically you can see that this is if statement. If this condition will become true, the after this AND operator, the right, maybe this can be a condition, or maybe this can be a component, only then this will be rendered. And second, you can also put your condition inside this list of items. For instance, maybe you can put, let me type here an if statement to just show you, like if one. So now this is means whatever will be happen, what condition you will write here, basically this means this if will become true in every case. Now simply we will do this a return like this, and I do not want to render this list component. Okay, and now here you will see, even if we have a correct means this animal's array's length is greater than 0, but still you can see that I do not want to render this list component. Basically you can see that this is a component, and this is also function. Okay, so basically if we are returning something from here, so the code after this, if this condition will become true, will never be executed. Each time this component will be called, this if will become true, maybe you can type here a real-time condition, so it will return this list of item, and this code will be skipped, means this will not be rendered. So friends, this was the video. That in this video you have learned that how you can render list of elements in JSX, how you can render a list of components in JSX, and how you can do conditional rendering UI. And we put conditions maybe inside our this component, and we also put this condition here. So I hope that this video will be helpful for you, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And finally, thanks for watching.